Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I have a 5-year-old Siberian Husky named Rylai, and today I am going to discuss the top 8 things to know about Siberian Huskies based on my personal experience. She is the first dog I've ever had, but aside from the breed, you should keep in mind that owning a dog requires a lot of time, patience, and attention. My experience with her has taught me so much about life, and it is truly a life-changing roller coaster. Alright, let's get right into the video. Number 1. Not all Huskies are stubborn. This is the most common trait I've always heard about the breed, and I would like to tell you that it's not always true. Rylai is the perfect example because she is the most timid Husky and always wants to please me. She has never shown me stubborn behavior, and it's important to remember that every animal has their own personality. With that said, I have had experiences with several other Huskies, and I can see why owners struggle with them, because they certainly can be strong-willed and challenging. Any dog with that type of behavior requires a strong leader with firm boundaries. Rules will need to be consistently enforced in order to manage the dog's behavior. Number 2. Huskies are an energetic breed. This is definitely a well-known fact about the Siberian Husky, but I personally feel that trait should not be intimidating. Ideally, it would be great for them to run every day and to go for long walks, but I personally feel that having a structured lifestyle along with daily exercise is what will allow them to truly thrive. I also don't think that they're unable to live in apartments. It's not like we're expecting them to run around indoors constantly. As long as they're taken out on a daily basis, they should be able to manage in smaller spaces just fine. In regards to this, I believe that a combination of an active lifestyle along with proper training will truly bring out the best relationship with your Husky. When it comes to exercise with Rylai, we often play fetch and go for lots of hikes. Hiking with her has been something I've been doing ever since she was a puppy, and it is something I really enjoy sharing with her. We have traveled to many places together and have hiked on a bunch of trails all across the country. Number 3. Huskies can live with cats. This was one of my biggest concerns when I was first considering the breed because I already had one adult cat named Sammy. My initial thought process was to adopt an adult Husky, but nobody was willing, so I figured a puppy would be a better approach. Having them exposed to cats at a very young age, along with establishing firm expectations, allows them to develop a healthy perspective of cats from the very beginning. The goal is for them to be neutral around cats, and to not see their presence as something to be fixated on. Now, Rylai lives with 3 other cats, and I couldn't be happier about the dynamic in the household. If you would like to know more about this topic, I have already created a separate video detailing the steps I took with Rylai to achieve a healthy dynamic within our household. Feel free to check it out. Number 4. Huskies can be trained to be off-leash. This is an important point for me personally because I remember coming across a ton of results that made it seem like an extremely bad idea to ever off-leash your dog. At the time, I didn't think it was a big deal because I was inexperienced. But now, after 5 years of living an off-leash lifestyle with Rylai, I could never go back. Having the trust in your dog in any environment really strengthens your bond and life becomes far more enjoyable. For them to be responsive in any new and exciting environment shows that your influence is extremely important, and it allows for so many more opportunities. This path takes a lot of time and training, but it is immensely rewarding. Number 5. Huskies shed a lot. Huskies have a double coat consisting of an undercoat and a longer top coat. The inner coat is made up of soft, short fur that keeps the dog warm in cold weather, whereas the longer top coat repels water and heat from the sun to keep them cool during warm weather. Since dogs only perspire through their paws, they shed twice a year prior to seasonal changes. Truthfully, since Rylai is the only dog I've ever owned, the shedding didn't really bother me, and it didn't feel excessive until I got my second cat, who is a ragdoll. Because they are long-haired cats, His hair, along with Rylai's, started to become more noticeable. Brushing them regularly will help to prevent it from getting around your home, and feeding them a healthy diet will boost their coat's appearance as well. I fell in love with the Siberian Husky because of their beautiful coat, so despite the shedding, they're still an incredible breed. Number 6. Huskies can live in warmer climate. When I first got Rylai, I was living in New Jersey, which has a fair amount of cold temperature and plenty of snow during the winter months. Eventually, I moved to San Diego because I struggle with the cold a lot, and she has transitioned just fine here. However, this doesn't mean that they should be left outside without a source of shade and being able to access cooler temperatures when they need it. I go hiking with my husky quite often, and on the hotter days, I make sure she wears a cooling vest so the sun isn't baking into her back. During the summer months, when the temperature is much higher, I definitely choose to walk during cooler hours. Number 7. The average weight of a male husky is 45 to 60 pounds, whereas the average weight of a female husky is 35 to 50 pounds. Rylai is definitely on the much smaller side of huskies, averaging on the lower end of 40 pounds. Having her be this small is actually very convenient, and I was able to take her onto a flight in the cabin where she fit easily in the footrest area. There was a period of time where I was unknowingly feeding her too much, and she was sitting at 55 pounds and was very visibly chunky. Sometimes people in public often think she's still a puppy and are surprised when I tell them how old she is. My friend got a male husky from the same breeder, and he's about 15 to 20 pounds heavier than her, and other male huskies I've worked with were significantly larger. When considering breed, this fact is important to keep in mind because a heavier dog will require a larger expense for food. Number 8. Huskies can be picky about food. When I first brought back Rylai as a puppy, my breeder was feeding her kibble, and there were many times where she didn't show interest in her food, and it was common for her to not finish her daily serving. Even when I switched her to a raw diet, she still showed pickiness in preferring chicken over beef. Although nowadays, after making her food myself, she's always eager for her meal. I have friends that own huskies as well, and they each have their own tendencies. My friend's husky, Aegon, was fed raw ever since he was a puppy, but nowadays he's fed kibble after refusing to eat his raw food for days. On the other hand, I have a friend with 2 female huskies that have rejected his attempts to switch them to a raw diet. Whatever you end up feeding your dog, I think it is very important for them to be extremely excited and motivated by it. Overall, these are my top 8 things to know about Siberian Huskies. I hope you enjoyed the video and learned something new. Thank you so much for watching.